Good evening, gentlemen. Your briefly may now begin.
Welcome to a new episode of A Gentleman's Briefly. This is a special episode as we are talking about the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the new show we're having out in the Game of Thrones universe. And today, I am Brandon, and today I'm bringing my guest with me to kind of break down a mid-season breakdown of how things are going. Jordan, how's it going?
Doing good. It's been a while since we've done one of these, but I'm happy to be back in it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we had to bring in another relative expert on the matter. Roy, what up, man?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Us three have, I mean, for it feels like a couple years now since these shows come out, so stretched out. Between we've been talking about random Game of Thrones stuff. Remember there was a
Yeah.
time where we were all reading something Game of Thrones at some point, so we're pretty tapped in. Like I said, it's one of those universes you kind of have to be just to understand it all. The
Yeah.
family trees and all that stuff. Okay, just for clarification, has anybody Jordan, did you read the book Night of the Seven Kingdoms?
I have not. So this is my first introduction to the kingdom outside
Okay,
of what you've kind of talked
gotcha,
to us.
gotcha. And Roy, same thing.
The same thing,
Okay, okay. For me, this was one of the first Game of Thrones books I finished. I had obviously read a bunch of the other ones and tapped in with those, but then I remember hearing that this was going to be a show, and I was like, you know what? Like all that other stuff is super dense and super, you know what I mean? Like that's diving into a world, and I was trying to do that, but I was like, this would be a cool little world. I heard it was shorter and it's kind of not as dense, not you know what I mean. So I was like, let me tap into that. And when I read the books, man, read the book, it was great. The novellas they call them, but it was really fun. It was really great. So I was super excited about this, and as you guys know, I've been talking about this for a while. So
yeah.
um, thankfully we're here, and we got 3 episodes finally. And it's a 6 episode season. For those that don't know, 30 minutes each. That kind of was a shocker to some people, as in Game of Thrones is known for what, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, man. Do we want to break it down or we're gonna give them thoughts?
Just wanted to
Uh,
also mention real quick. They did
Yeah.
say that this will be a yearly release.
Yeah, annual
So
release.
like,
Yep.
so it 6 episodes is kind of, I wasn't too thrilled about, but I was like, well, if we get one season a year, like that's fine. Like as long as they're able to tell like a good enough story in six
well,
episodes.
and they got to stick to that year. We can't go 2, 3 years. Like if you're gonna do it
Yeah.
yearly, give us the yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're
And I
already
and I will
filming season two, so
exactly, that's what I was about to say. Like they're already filming season two. I remember the dude who's playing little guy's playing Egg, like showed like, hey, he shaved his head again, just because you
yeah.
know what I mean. They're in production, so that's always a good sign. And I think with the relative success has been so far, you know what I mean. It's kind of hard to tell with the exact numbers, but it's been getting a lot of pub lately to where I think we can continue to go. And honestly, George R. R. Martin has said like I love this story so much to where it's like times where I just want to dedicate to this story and finish it out rather than finishing. I think Songs of Winter, I think is the book he's been, we've all been waiting for.
People will
Yeah,
be pissed if he
yeah,
did
we gotta
that.
stop
I
that.
know, I know. But I think this one, I think honestly, I think it would be good because at least he's writing something.
Mm.
Because to me, this story is easier to write, and there's a finish line. We already know the well, not all of us know the finish line, but there is a finish line to where
hmm
he has a cap. You know what I mean? Where Songs of Winter, there's no finish line. Like that's literally the end of Game of Thrones that they weren't able to use for the show. You know what I mean? So yeah. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. Episode one, we find that Dunk is burying his hedge knight, you know what I mean? The person he was a squire for, Arlen Pennytree. Sir Arlen, and yeah, it's kind of just like the book, straight out of the book. Like he's burying him, uh, just like paying his dues. making sure he knows like how much he meant to him, even though, you know what I mean, he's backtracking through his head like, damn, he was kind of hard on me, but he was a good person overall, and he taught me what a head knight's supposed to be and values and things of that nature. For those who don't know, Dunk was kind of a kid in the middle of King's Landing. I think it was Flea Bottom, and
Flea
like,
bottom.
yeah, just a poor kid that thankfully got with Sir Arlen and made it out. And so yeah, paying homage to him. But then he kind of thinks about what are my next steps. And then he figures out that he's thinking, okay, I want to be a knight. Let me go find opportunities to prove myself. So then he figures out he's going to go to the tourney of Ashford. And he figures if he can win that tournament, he can, get more eyes on him, potentially become a knight of a kingdom of some sort. On his way there, he stops at a little, basically a pub, basically, and he realizes this little kid pops out and is like, "Hey, like you're probably a little kid who just takes care of horses. Hey, man, you take care of my horse, feed him, blah blah blah." And him and the kid are going back and forth, and he's like, "All right, whatever." And so he ends up at the pub. At the pub, it's this dude sitting there that's drunk, and he wakes up and look creepy as hell looking, and he's like, "Stay away from me." He's like, "I've had dreams about you. Please stay away from me. Like, you are very bad for my family, for dragons, that such." And he's like, "Just stay away from me." And it was random as hell, and he gets up and walks out.
Yeah.
Um,
I think we should talk about like why you're talking to it because I already
yeah, yeah,
had like when that popped up, I
yeah,
was like, oh wow, like what is this about?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did y'all know what was going on there?
Roy, did you have any idea?
I kind of thought, I'm assuming people that are watching United Seven Kingdoms have some sort of understanding of like Game of Thrones, like that kind of
Hmm.
world. So there's a lot of in touch things with like magic and I guess it's really just kind of magic and dragons and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I felt like he was told by some fortune teller or he had some dream that was cast upon him to see the future. And there's
Hmm.
something along like, hey, you're gonna meet some random dude in this random pub who's going to like alter your life or something. That was my assumption, but I really honestly didn't have a real idea.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because the only thing we saw was the white hair, right? And we assume he's a
Yeah.
Targaryen,
As soon as you see white hair, like we all know, like there's some sort of whether you're a bastard of them or not, like you have Targaryen blood in you.
right?
Yeah. And he paid with, Targaryen coin. So that was kind of a giveaway.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, good point there too. Yeah,
yeah. I knew, but obviously I read the book, so that was the only reason I knew. But if I wouldn't have known, yeah, like you said, the hair, the coin, that kind of would have given some sort of giveaway, but you wouldn't have known how important that person was.
Yeah.
It was kind of one of those like, we all know there's dreamers in this universe. Somebody
yeah.
having a dream is pretty normal.
What was your first thoughts on Egg? Like seeing Egg for the first time? Because I mean, Brandon, you knew who Egg was already.
Hmm.
Um, but like for me, I was like, I had no idea who he was.
Hmm.
And I just remember you telling even before the show, like, I remember when it was announced, like, I remember you telling me and Roy, like, this is gonna be a really good show. Like, it's gonna be a funny show. It's gonna be really good to see these two characters get along together. And I guess to finally see this character Egg, I was like, okay, I can see why people are gonna like him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I really like seeing him for the first time. It was kind of crazy because like in my head, I had an idea of what I thought Egg would look like. Same thing with Dunk. Like I'm expecting this big dude. With Egg, I'm expecting a small kid, but I didn't know like the acting choice. Obviously, the actor they chose is going to be very important because his personality is a certain way, their dynamic is a certain way. So you kind of had to get a kid who's smart and witty and can go back and forth. And he has to be really smart because he kind of has to teach Dunk a lot of stuff. So yeah, when I first saw Egg, I was like, wow, like they hit it out the park. Like the kid
Knocked
is,
it. Yeah. He was
yeah,
great.
like yeah, it was great. He was like it was to the point to where he looked like a little kid. Like he picked the perfect
Yeah,
age. You know what I mean? And yeah,
It's so hard to with like young kids to get somebody that's like actually witty because you can get somebody who's funny and just be like you're just a kid, but to
yeah,
be like he's obviously so well maintained and so well spoken because he's of royal blood, and
mm-hmm,
it's if you know how the Game of Thrones goes, like there's little hints here and there that let him know, like, oh, this is he's of royalty and not of low birth. Uh,
Yeah.
Right.
that like you don't know, like you just kind of miss if you're not really fully paying attention. But like when he says "my lord" instead of "my lord," is like a
Yeah.
telltale sign that like, oh, he's like I caught that right away. I was like, wait a minute, because like I said,
Yeah.
I didn't know who Egg was, and then as soon as he
Hmm.
said "my lord," I was like, wait a minute, like what's something's going on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
No,
and and that's why you
that's a
can
good
also
point.
tell that Dunk is a little bit, I wouldn't say slow, but like he's not as fast as other people because
I'd
like
say
you said,
slow.
right, like Egg is like he's speaking very proper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
I would
No,
definitely
that's
say
facts.
he's slow. Like
Yeah.
I think I
He's
think
very like.
he's kind of like a big O. Like he's just
Yeah.
brute strong, not super
Yep.
smart. I mean, we see the way he interacts. We'll talk more about it in like episode 2 and 3. But the way he like interacts with like the his interest, like he's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
he's just a big O dude.
Yeah, no, it's funny in the books. Even Arlen the Penny Tree, like everybody, at least once every 30 minutes, somebody goes, Dunk the Lunk, thick as a castle wall. Like he's just dumb. Everybody's basically calling him dumb,
Yeah.
and he hears that consistently. So yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say he's like just totally stupid, but
He's
he's
not no
very
Hodor.
naive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but he's very naive. He doesn't know customs. He doesn't know, you know what I mean? He knows a little bit about the nightlife, but or being a knight, but outside of that, he doesn't really know much. And he'll fall for whatever. Like if you tell him, "Hey, I'll give you $50," you know what I mean? He gonna be like, "Oh, you're gonna give me," you know what I mean? He's not gonna
Yeah.
assume any type of intentions. But
He
yeah,
is a
no, that
through and through hedge knight.
yeah, through and through type of guy. And so. Um, Dunk leaves the pub. He goes to get his horse. He sees that Egg is on his horse, like dressed up in his gear, dressed up in
Fully
night type
fully
gear.
suited.
Yeah, riding his horse. He's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" And it was a pretty good scene right there. And that you kind of see like, oh, okay, Egg kind of has ambitions of being like a knight. Like he has further ambitions and Ed kind of asked like Dunk like, can I be your squire? Like I heard you going to the tourney. Can I be your squire? Like you're gonna need somebody to help. And Dunk's like, absolutely not. Just get out of my way. Stay out of my way. And so he leaves him there. And once he arrives in Ashford, um, there does he go straight to my god to get enlisted, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah,
goes to
yeah,
talk to
yeah.
him. They also kind of explore the rest of, I guess, not the town, but whatever you want to call this area.
Yeah.
They do a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah, yeah.
exploring.
Yeah, yeah. He goes and tries to get enlisted, and the dude is like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, first of all, he's like, you stink. First of all, like, you're funky, and my list is full, and you just don't meet the qualifications visually. You know what I mean?
Which is crazy considering at that time, like they didn't just regularly bathe. So if
That's
you
Yeah.
my
if you
thing.
had a stink that
That made
bad
Hmm.
you
where
real
people are
bad.
stunk, yeah.
I mean,
Real
you
bad.
saw he like smelled his pants where his ass was at, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, this is a little raw. Let me go ahead and
Yeah.
hop in this river."
Yeah. He hopped in the river. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we kind of skipped over him shitting everywhere,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's neither here nor
Yeah,
there.
that was tough because
How,
he put
I
them
guess we can,
jeans on.
yeah, we can talk about, yeah, straight to jeans is crazy. Not even jeans, like cloths, like straight up
Straight wool
100%
pants.
cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. Raw dog and some feds is crazy. But um, how did y'all feel about, I guess, that scene, like the poop scene, playing the song, hearing the song? Did you expect anything? Like, what were you thinking?
That was like for me, that was like a boys moment. Like that was like a moment that
Yeah,
would be in the boys. Like it was just completely out of nowhere,
yeah,
and that was not something I'm used to for Game of Thrones like that.
yeah.
I mean, I was caught off guard initially, and then the more I thought about it, I thought it was almost. I kind of don't know if it was almost a jab because these people don't have anything to do with Game of Thrones, right? Like they're completely
Right,
different.
yeah.
They're under different organizations, so it's kind of.
Hmm.
I felt like it was almost like a hey, you guys shit on the last season of Game of Thrones, and you ruined it. So like we're literally gonna shit on the theme because when House of Dragon first came out they used the Game of Thrones uh,
Yeah.
theme song till they got their own. So I
Yeah.
assumed it's kind of be the same way. Like they're gonna play their own. They're gonna have the rolling script show up, and then immediately just boom, he's shitting. And I was like, oh, they're saying like screw.
That's a good
Not
point.
not
I didn't even
necessarily like
consider that.
screw it, but like, hey, you guys messed up, and we're gonna try to like repair the Game of Thrones universe or something. Was just, I mean, I
Yeah.
could be extremely overthinking it, and they just thought it was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the vibe. I guess a little bit of both for me. It was just sort of like, hey, this isn't your Game of Thrones. You're thinking it's gonna be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're probably getting revved up thinking it's gonna be the same thing. Let me just show you, like literally, this is gonna be different from the jump. You know what I mean? Anything you're expecting to be the same, we're gonna probably switch it up a little bit. So that was cool. It was a crazy scene, but I get the point of it. Um, but yeah, that was a wild. That was wild. But yeah, you can see now why he stinks. And when he's trying to
Yeah.
enlist and stuff, dude is just like, hey man, like I'm sorry, but for you to get on
God.
here, like you got it. You're not even from a certain house. Like if I'm gonna put you on the list, you got to get a certain endorsement from somebody. I've never heard of this Arlen of Penny Tree. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to go get somebody who can endorse this guy.
Well, and that's the thing too is that nobody knew that he was a knight, but he said Sir Arlen knighted me. He's like, oh well,
Yeah,
who's there? And he
exactly.
said a horse and
Yeah.
a tree.
Yeah.
That's
And a
my thing
bird
too.
and a
It's like,
songbird. So they're like, well,
hmm
Hmm.
if we don't know you're an actual knight, like we know Sir Arlen was a knight, but if there's no
Right.
proof that he knighted you, like we need somebody that would vouch, that would basically,
Yeah.
yeah, he probably would, like that was his squire.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that's my thing. Like nobody knew about it. That was my whole thing too.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's a good point because I mean he definitely, that's a very serious thing, and you can't just be like, yeah, it was just me and him by ourselves, and I'm a knight. You know what I mean? Because anybody can say that. So yeah, that was pretty good. That dude was pretty funny. The way he was spitting in that cup was disgusting, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, that was crazy. Then Dunk finds his way into the tent of the Baratheons, Lionel Baratheon, the Laughing Storm. Um, I've always liked well, Baratheon is one of my favorite houses. I just always felt like it was if it wasn't the Starks, like Baratheons was right there. Just they were some real dudes who are ready to fight anybody at any time. And I remember in the book, like the Laughing Storm, I will say this whole tent scene with Lionel Baratheon is not in the books. That is something they just added, and which I'm grateful for, honestly, because Lionel Baratheon in the show so far has been great. Every appearance he's made has been really cool, really additive to the show. So, what do you guys think about this scene with him getting drunk and dancing and doing all kind of craziness?
Oh yeah, he was turned up. He
Yeah,
was turned.
It,
I thought it was about to be a problem at first, but nah, he's about that life. He want to party.
it was a little
yeah,
sus at first. There was some
Yeah.
sus
Oh
moments,
yeah.
but I
Yeah.
was like, I was
They
like,
got
I was
real
like, oh,
close.
I'm like, they've got to kiss. What's going on here?
right, yeah. No, no, that's true. It was, and that's kind of like Lionel Baratheon's thing. Like, you know, he tests Dunk. He's like, "Yo, like, what are you doing here? First of all, why are you in my tent? Secondly, like, you seem like hesitant. Like, you're big and tall. Like, you should be
Yeah.
super confident and super. You know what I mean?
And he even
Uh,
uh,
asked me, he's like, what did you bring me? Well,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't bring you anything. He said, okay, well, if you are in my tent, you didn't bring me anything, then you're here to kill me.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah,
he's like, no,
yeah.
I'm just here for the free food.
Yeah, he said,
Yeah,
He's like, touche, my dude.
that's
So
a
wait,
good point. Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So then, because I know we got to speed up a little bit. What y'all think about episode one though? This first episode into it. Were y'all into it?
Yeah.
I was. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
tapped all the way in. Yeah.
I thought it was a good pilot. It wasn't the greatest episode, but I mean, most pilots aren't. Like, it was enough to be, okay, kind of know what we're getting into. Not
Hmm.
gonna think too much into it. Obviously, a lot of buildup. We don't know who anyone is yet.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we found out who somebody is on episode two. Go ahead and let's roll in episode two.
Yes. Episode 2 is called Hard Soft Beef.
Whoa, I
And
didn't realize that.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy, actually. I think about it. Um, uh, so in this one, I guess at the end of episode 1, we see the egg is back taking care of the camp for Duncan. He's like, oh shoot, okay, all right, you can be my squire. So then in episode 2, we're going along there in Ashford, and they see the arrival of the Targaryens. And Egg is like, "Whoa, hey, let me dip off real quick." And he's
Like
like,
we went
"What?
back
What are
to
you talking
hmm
camp.
about?" Yeah, he's like, "What are you talking about? Like, just what you don't know the horns?" And then one that was funny. He was like, the horns went off. He was like, "Hey, who's that?" He was like, you can't see the flag, you big dumbass." He said something to him like that. I was like, "Damn." You talking to Dunk kind of crazy. But with the arrival of Baelor and Maekar Targaryen, uh, I will say like it was really cool to see these Targaryens show up. Baelor is really dope because obviously he has dark hair. He has part Dorne. Or he's part Dorne because his mom's like a Martell or whatever. And so to see the Targaryens pull up, that was really cool. And then we got to see Aerion Bright Flame pull up, and he kind of pulls up and he's like, "Hey, don't take care of my horse. Like, go get me something to drink too." He's like, "Yo, that's not I'm a knight." And he's like, "Yeah, if you're a knight, yeah,
Y'all in big
standards have
trouble.
fallen. Yeah, standards have fallen." And it was a cool appearance by some of the King's Guard, and they pull up, and because Dunk's kind of taking care of the horses, calming them down, and he basically like, "Hey, you know what I mean? How the hell did you become a knight?" And he's like, "Yeah, you know what I mean? I just did whatever I had to do, taking care of crabs or whatever." And we future later find out, he's actually like,
That's
nepotism
another
grandma.
thing. Freaking Egg knew, like Duncan. He never questions how Egg knows this stuff.
Uh,
Yeah, no, he didn't. He never asked a follow-up question
Like
ever.
Egg is like, yo, what do you mean? His dad is the overseer of all the crabbers here,
Yeah,
wherever we at. And Duncan's like, huh, okay. You're
yeah.
not gonna be like, bro, how you know that? You 10, you 11. How do you know this already?
yeah.
Yeah. He never questions it. Never questions it. And then so we then get to the key scene, I think, in this whole thing that I think is really dope, that they really did well, that is in the books. Uh, which is kind of crazy, but a person spying on a the hand and his brother in their private quarters, like in most cases you die.
Oh, you
Like
dead.
yeah, you most cases you are dead. But
Yeah.
thankfully, this is the right Targaryen in Baelor who's not quick to act like that. But yeah, basically, Dunk spies on them as they talk about their sons being missing, and the tournament in general and the reason they're there. The reason the Targaryens are there is kind of like a campaign, basically. Hey, showing face, saying hi to the little folks, making sure y'all good, because we don't have dragons, so we
You,
actually have to, be
That's
good diplomats.
that was something that I wanted to point out for people that
Hmm.
weren't aware is this takes place after House of the Dragons, so after the Dance of Dragons. So like their Targaryens have no dragons. So like
Right.
they've lost a lot of, I mean, they haven't lost power because they're still in power, but they've lost a lot of people's fear of the power because
Yeah.
they're just people. So like late in episode 3 we get a scene where they're kind of like people are talking crazy about them now because they're like, what are they gonna
Yeah.
do? Like they're just people. Well, before it
Right.
was like
Right.
you would never say anything about a Targaryen
Right.
because
You
they're
scared
like they're
your
gonna
little
burn my
spot.
town. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you know what else is crazy too? Like for your sons to be missing, are there no posters up or anything?
Probably
Like
not.
I
I
have.
was like,
What
if
are they
my
gonna
son
put
is
on?
missing, I mean, draw. I figured they would like just draw a picture of him and just
Mm,
like hang them and just say missing, unless it's one of the things they don't want the world to know that their
probably
sons are
it.
missing.
Yeah, like because it looks bad on you as a king
Right.
or as a hand
Like you
if you
can't
can't
control your
even.
own family.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't take care of your own family. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's probably it. Trying to keep it more private and
Yeah.
trying to handle it internally, but yeah, basically, Dunk is like, hey, um, so Lord, my Lord, like, hey, Baylor, like, do you remember Sir Arlen the Penny Tree? And thankfully, Baylor has a great memory and he remembers him. And he's like, all right, I'll help you
Tough
get
scene.
enlisted. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Tough scene. Cause like what Dunk pictures his I mean, I would say a father figure, but like what Dunk pictures his father is
yeah,
not what it was. And this is
yeah,
when he starts realizing like, oh yeah, he told me he killed four, and then what's name like, nah, I mean, it wasn't really four, probably more like one or two. So like this is
yeah,
when he starts getting knocked down little by little, and like
yeah.
that's when you realize like, oh, your heroes might not live up to what they say they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they exactly kind of like your parents, tell a
Yeah,
story. I scored 30 against such a you look in the stat book, you're like, well, you scored 13, bro. Like you
yeah,
Yeah.
didn't, you know what I mean? You didn't do that thing that you said to that degree. I thought it was really cool the way they had Makor kind of be like an asshole because that's who he is. He's an
Yeah.
asshole, which he'll show even more later on in the series. But you kind of see the dynamic, Baylor being calm. He's the hand, so it makes sense why he's calm. He's remembers a lot of information. He likes to stay on top of that stuff. And Maker was like, I don't give a damn about these people. They aren't Targaryens, so I don't care. So thankfully, Dunk gets enlisted into the tourney. Um, then he goes and sees my girl, which he met in episode 1. Um, I forgot Tandrell Too Tall. Is that her name?
yeah. Something too tall, so I know.
Yeah. Meets her, talks to her, has a very awkward conversation with her, trying to get it because Baylor's like, "Hey, you can't wear that sigil because you're not blood of Sir Arlen of
Yeah,
Pennytree, so you got to have your own." And so he's like, "All right, let me go get my shield redone." Go sees Tendrell, and he kind of fumbles through explaining what he wants her to do for him. Thankfully, Egg is there. That was a great scene. What y'all think about that scene?
yeah.
Yeah.
She not bad either. She's not bad.
Yeah. Might be a little too tall for you though.
I mean, you might be right, but I agree though. I think that was a really good scene. Like he does not know how to talk to girls, which is crazy because his mentor, as we know, he was like hoeing around. So you thought he would pass down something.
Yeah. No, that was crazy. You would think so. You would think, but as we know, like you got some boys in the crew that just can't talk to girls. This is what it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but speaking of which, we kind of skipped over the sword, the man, Sir Arlen Penetry. What did y'all think about that first scene? That the season this scene is probably talked about the most at all the show so far. Uh, I mean,
Yo,
you don't have to go into super detail if you don't want to. Yeah.
yo, y'all know me. I don't care. Yo, that thing was crazy, yo. I was like, yo, what? I was like, what are we doing there? Now, one day he was able to
Bro,
go around and do what he wanted.
that thing had his own phone number, bro. That thing was
Bro,
crazy, bro.
old girl in the background. I was like, oh, I know she knocked out.
She did.
Yeah, I was like, she didn't make it up.
She ain't
Yo,
wake it
that
up for a
is
while.
crazy. That was crazy. Yo, he just stood there and everything.
Things
Yeah.
just that's crazy, bro. Roy, any
I wonder what made
thoughts?
is that? Yeah, go ahead, Roy.
I was not expecting that at all. Like Game of Thrones is kind of known for, just random amounts of nudity and, very rarely is it male nudity. So whenever he just turns around. I mean, I saw his ass at first. I'm like, wait a minute, is it hold up here? And then he
Yeah.
turns around to pee and then just fucking, there's the dragons we've been missing. Like, it's just
The
like,
dragon.
I was
I
like,
know we said ain't no more dragons left in this universe except for his.
"Hmm."
Yeah. Oh man, like
Yeah,
yeah,
that
bro.
thing crazy.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was wild.
The memes that were around too. One of my favorite ones still to this day is so in episode 1 when he buries Sir Arlen, it's a very shallow grave, and
Yeah.
like he doesn't bury his sword with him. And one of the memes was like, yeah, there was he didn't bury him with the sword because there was no room left. They could dig the hole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that thing
bro.
was crazy, boy.
That was crazy. Like you see why my man was happy riding a horse.
Oh
Was
yeah,
happy
for
like
sure.
yeah, my boy was having a good time. That's why he's probably happy to be in the hedges now. He can go town to town, do his thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, that was crazy. But yeah, Dunk is explaining to her he wants the elm tree with the star going over the top. That's kind of his known. That is the known thing that will be with him even further past the story. So it was cool to hear that part of the story. Then after this, do we go right into the action? I want to say they were able to watch the tournament. And no, actually they talk about it. Yeah, Duncan and Egg talk about it. And it's like Duncan's like I don't think that went well. And Egg is like commonality. You guys have some commonality. You know what I mean? Like, and Egg is like kind of lets him know like I want to be a knight, but I get made fun of because I'm too small. And he's like, and it was kind of cool to hear Dunk be like, "You'll be all right. Like you'll figure it out.
So yeah,
Um,
you'll grow basically.
yeah, you'll
yeah.
grow." Um, I really
You
like the
know,
tug of war scene. Uh,
yeah.
that was great. That was not in the books. So that was a really cool scene just to see. I heard it was all, from what I hear, that was like all like what do they say?
Like they did
Like
for like one tape.
off the cuff. It was all off the
Okay.
cuff. Like Egg wasn't supposed to be at the front. He wasn't supposed to jump on the rope. Lionel Baratheon wasn't supposed to just walk off and you know what I mean in the middle of it.
Get a
Like that
drink
was
real quick. Yeah.
yeah, like that was all, ad lib off the dome. And it was a really cool scene. Again, Adam, I think the more they add Lionel Baratheon in anything is better, is a good thing. So that was cool. And then at the end they got to see the got to see a, actual jousting battle. And you got to see how intense that stuff is. And
Yeah, bro, that stuff is intense.
yeah, bro, I thought the camera work was great. Like just showing how fast and speed and the intensity. And
Which we've always had great like horse battle scenes in the Game of Thrones.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it was cool, low key spotting like, oh, that's the the Tullys, or that's the
Yeah. All the
what I
sigils that
mean.
we saw.
Yeah, it was cool like spotting those and being like, oh, okay. And then you got to see forgot my dude, is it Darren? Darren, it's Baelor's son who was there, and he had his shield on,
Oh,
and it
that
was
little
look dope.
dragon face shield.
Yeah. His was a little more like regular, but yeah, it was all black and red. It was dope. It was dope to see. But you got to see that, you know what I mean, the intensity. Dunk was having low key a panic attack, and then Egg was just like, wow, like I don't know if I'll be able to do all this as a squire because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. And at the end, you see Dunk kind of being like, all right, like I got to tap in. Like my boy Sir Arlen did all these years of being a hedge knight, and now people don't even remember him. So I'm about to tap in. I'm gonna try to win this thing. Kind of gives an inspiring speech at the end. Um, Episode 3 starts off. I thought was a This was also added. This is not part of the books. I thought was an amazing scene or sequence with Egg and the horse.
Oh
Them
yeah.
kind of training and trying to like him get ready, you know what I mean, to feel like he's ready to help Dunk win. How'd y'all think about that scene?
I was like, once he let that horse reins go, I was like, this horse gonna run off. I was like, this horse is gonna be straight gone. But I forgot that horse is well trained. I thought it was kind of
Yeah,
good. He's like, people would say horses are dumb as a dog, and then the
yeah,
horse kind of looks sad and all that. He's like, but I don't believe it. It was a
yeah,
good little
yeah,
moment
yeah,
though.
yeah. I like that. Roy, what'd you think?
It kind of led you to question what was going on because Egg wakes up, looks over. I guess he'd been awake, was just making sure that that Dunk was asleep, and he gets up, quietly grabs the horse, grabs the sword, and kind of sneaks off. And I was like, is this dude like is he running away because the Targaryens are here?
Yeah,
And I mean, at this point, we kind of get an understanding, I think, of that he may not be something, but he's got some like history
He's
with them.
connected. Yeah.
yeah,
And because as soon as they show up, he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. So like, is he trying to leave? Like, what's going on here? And then he
yeah.
immediately goes to that field and just starts talking to him and starts doing this practice. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know what great practice, running, like having the horse run just up and down is without like a knight with armor and a lance and a shield, like will actually do. Like, I guess, yeah,
Hmm.
you kind of warm up, but like, what kind of actual practice are you getting there?
Yeah, yeah. I thought it was just a good scene to like expound on, like give Egg a little solo a little bit,
Yeah.
just because you know what I mean. Give him
I
some
did like the
time to
big
kind of
like he was, again he's leaving. You're like, ah man, Egg's about to dip on him, and then like
yeah,
no, he's actually like he's taking it upon himself to make sure
right.
that it's gonna go as good as it can for Dunk.
Exactly. And that was one thing. And I mean, I guess we'll learn more about Egg throughout, but like it's really cool that he's like dedicated and takes being a squire serious.
Yeah,
Where, you know what I mean? Like my dude's like, no, I need to be ready for I don't want to hold a Dunk back in his mission to try to win this whole thing. So let me get right. Let me practice handing him his sword, handing him his lance, all that stuff. So that was cool. Uh and then seeing the one dude pull up on him with the messed up eye. He is talked about in the books. I don't remember that scene ever in the books, but that dude with the crazy eye, like that, he's talked about as one of the psychos.
dude, that flashback scene was rough,
Yeah, I just
and
gave
his
him
Yeah.
a
eyes just dang. I was like, oh man,
yeah, bro. A lance to the eye is crazy. Oh my! Now thinking about it, oh my God, that sounds nasty. Um, but yeah, when he returns, you could tell Dunk is pissed. Dunk. Also, I will say I did like about that opening scene with Dunk, or when Egg is staring at Dunk, bro. That reminds me so much as a parent when your kid wakes up before you do, and they're bored as hell, and they're
Yeah.
like, bro, like I gotta
Yeah.
find something to do. Like that was such a. I was like, damn, I know that exactly. Like, you know what I mean? When my daughter would
One
be
thing too
wake
about
up.
their relationship is Dunk will always threaten to hurt Egg,
Yeah,
but then he doesn't.
Yeah.
right.
Well, because whenever he was talking about like when he was giving the eulogy to Arlen, he's like, you never beat me unless I needed to or unless I needed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And so it kind of seems like, he was probably beat probably more than he should have been. And
yeah.
you can kind of tell it's almost like I kind of got like a Forrest Gump feel of it, where he's like,
Mm,
"This is how I was raised, and I didn't really like it. I got bullied a lot. I was made fun of. I
mm,
was beat." So he's like, "I'm
yeah,
gonna. The only way I know how to discipline is by saying these things, but I will never actually do it because he remembers like, oh, I didn't like it when Sorrel hit me or whatever. So he's like, if you
Yeah.
want." If you keep acting up, I'm gonna give like a knuckle sandwich or whatever, however he phrases it. But it's like
yeah.
we know Dunk's
Clap in
not
the
gonna
ear.
lay finger on
Yeah.
Egg.
It's yeah, you're doing better than the generation before you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
he's
like
learned.
that's all he knows is to say these things. But then he's like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
yeah. You could tell. And it's. I'm glad you pointed that out because he always says clout in the ear. I'm gonna give you a clout in the ear, and like I feel like he starts out early. Like as soon as he meets Egg, anytime he starts spouts back at him, I'm gonna give you a clout in the ear. But now he's like, you know what I mean? He's more okay with him showing his personality. But yeah, he was pissed that he went out on his own, and
Hey, 'cause he probably thought he robbed him and just like left.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
what else do you think?
yeah, bro. Like, there's no reason not to. He took my sword and my horse. Like, didn't say nothing to me.
Because we don't know how long they've been together at this point. Like it could be 3 days, could be 3 weeks. So
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
we don't know how much they actually know of each other. So he's probably thinking, dang, like I didn't know this kid, I trusted him, and now he just robbed me blind.
right, right,
And then he
right.
shows up, and at first you're probably, you're like you're mad, you're upset with yourself, and then he shows up, and you're like, oh, so you just gonna leave and not say anything? Now you take out the anger
Yeah,
on them.
exactly, exactly.
And
Well,
kind of in that same vein, I thought it was interesting that like his anger was not so much like I'm gonna like yell at you and be mean and do it. He was kind of just like I'm not gonna really talk to you, but I'm gonna ask you certain questions. Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
a very reserved, gentle anger as opposed to just like I'm gonna lash out, which kind of speaks to
yeah,
Dunk's character.
right. Absolutely. And and he kind of like is trying to be tough guy, and then Egg's like, "Are you stitching something?" He's like, "Yes." He's like, "Well, isn't that something I can do?" And he's like, "I mean, no." But then he eventually ends up showing him, and you kind of see a cool little moment between them two. Um, then what happens
Not
after
a
that?
bad bone in that man's body.
I know, right? What happened?
You see the tournament. Do you see the tournament kind
Yeah, I
of
think
still
we
going
go
on,
right into the
Oh
tournament.
yeah, yeah. We go to the
and the
tournament.
horse and the horse getting
Yeah,
stabbed?
Aaron Brightflame pulls up to the tournament. He kind of mocks Daron, Baylor's son, kind of mocks him. You know what I mean? Kind of being like, "Hey, I'm the real, big time Targaryen." He even looks at Baylor like disrespectfully, kind of looks at him. Then he calls out the one guy. Apparently, that guy is like very known as being like a really good knight. He's not necessarily from the biggest house, but he just earned his spot here as being a really good knight. And he calls
Yeah,
him
people
out.
loved him when he got hurt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They go against each other, and again, Aaron is like he misses the first time and kind of ducks the first time. Then they go the second time. He goes real low with his lance. I like that Dunk was like, "Yo, that he's really low."
Yeah,
Like
I
you think,
immediately knew.
yeah, yeah, and boom, right in the neck. This is straight. It was really cool. It was straight out the books too, and yeah, basically damn near decapitates the the horse. The horse then falls on him, crushing like all his lower limbs, and
Hmm.
yeah, everybody was pissed off about it. And like we talked about, like that kind of disdain for Targaryens, this made it even worse. And like I said, somebody threw a rock at him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that would never
Yeah.
ever even be
Oh, they've been
thought of.
cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, in either this time or Game of Thrones time, like never would have been thought of. But as you see that type of frustration, and you can see with Aaron, you can kind of tell even later on, like he thinks he's literally a dragon. Dude thinks like he's one of those
His
mad,
blood of the dragon, yeah.
yeah, he's one of those mad Targaryens where like not everything's up there, and so he thinks he's an actual dragon, and he thinks all these people are beneath him, so he's not really worried about killing
Which is
somebody. That's
crazy
no big
because
deal.
he's a bright flame, so like he's a bastard of a Targaryen, so he's not even like technically a real Targaryen.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, he's 100%. He's straight up. Like you might be thinking Blackfire, like
Oh,
Damon
okay.
Blackfire and all that, but yeah, he's a hundred. He's
Okay. Okay.
100%. Yeah,
I
but
thought okay. I thought he had a bastard's name.
nah, yeah, he's straight up 100. But yeah, he's kind of what you
Okay.
expect
Well
with
then that
Targaryen.
kind of just that makes better sense then.
Yeah, yeah, he's mad. But even after that, you kind of see the egg wants Aaron to die, and Dunk's like,
Yeah, he was like, kill
yeah,
him.
yeah. Dunk's like, what the hell? Like, I ain't seen that
Yeah.
side of you before. And he's like, man, that's crazy. That was a crazy accident. And Dunk is like, Egg's like, that
Nah.
wasn't an accident by any
Yeah.
means. And then they run into this lady, who's kind of a fortune teller lady. You know, this always happens in Game of Thrones. You run into somebody who thinks they know your future, and she
Hmm.
tells Dunk he's gonna do great things or something, reach great heights or something
Basically.
like that. Yeah, and then tells Egg like you're gonna die in a fire with all the
Shows
people
well,
you love.
she says you're gonna be king,
Yeah, you're gonna be king.
which is
Yeah, that was
big,
key.
which
That was
is
key.
that right there is was probably when most people are like, oh, weird. Okay, like why would you just say that? Because only one person would be king at this time.
Right,
Because unless you've never seen Game of Thrones,
right.
you would know that like a Targaryen has always been in line up
Mm-hmm.
until Game of Thrones, which this takes place way
Exactly.
before. So you're like,
Absolutely.
that's when you're like, oh, wait a minute, and then
Yeah.
boom, you're gonna die in a fire, and you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
That was
Yeah.
oddly specific to me.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. That
and
was
then
interesting.
Dunk laughs.
Yeah. I was like, bro, why are you taking this seriously, bro? That will never happen. Why are we even taking that serious?
Yeah,
And
you a king?
yeah, and that's crazy. The crazy thing that was not in the books. So I remember like hearing that, I was like, oh, we throwing major low key spoilers out there. Like
Yeah.
low key on the low, we threw it so on the slide that people might not catch. My people might just think that's a whatever, but like that's a legit telling somebody their story.
I mean, it
Um,
was also kind of spoiled in Game of Thrones too. Like it was another one of
True.
those real quick one line drops, kind of how the what is it, House of Dragons. Like there's a one line drop spoiler in it. They did the same
Yeah.
thing in
Yeah.
for this, which I mean, at the time, they had no idea how big it was going to get, so you get it. But like, yeah, it was just
Right.
real.
Right.
But it was like, oh, you're
Yeah.
dropping this right now, like in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. That was interesting. Usually, you don't drop the future of characters in your show. Usually, it's somebody
Yeah,
who died already, like you said. So that was really interesting. What we have it next? What we have next?
I think the big ending is next. Like
Yeah. So
with him going into the tent.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, because they
So
were walking towards the tent, and then the dude pops up and was like, "Hey, come get some mail with me in my tent." And but they're going to
yeah.
go get the shield. So Egg's
Yep.
like, "Well, I'll go watch the play," because I think I think he likes the plays too.
Yeah. He does.
And so he's like, "I'll
He
go watch
does.
the play, get the shield from her, and then we'll just meet up later. Like you go get your ale, make some friends, basically."
Yeah. 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 I did really like that tent scene because I liked how that dude like spazzed out. Like he was just like, yeah, Targaryens are trash. He was like, Targaryens, they're ancestral aliens. They don't respect none
Yeah,
of our customs. You know what I
You're
mean? He
not
just went
wrong.
off. Yeah, no,
yeah.
everything he said was facts. Like they don't respect our customs. They don't respect anything that came before them arriving here. Like, yeah, I don't mess with them at all. And so that was really cool to see. Because Dunk's like, I don't understand. Like Dunk is just so out of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's some people in life you meet that are just have no clue what's actually going on, and I feel like that's Dunk. But the play was
And
really dope. No,
yeah,
go ahead, Roy.
going back to that part real quick too,
Yeah,
like kind of how we already mentioned, like you don't, especially at night, like you don't talk bad about the king, like the
absolutely.
royal family at all. So
Mm-hmm.
for another night, to just like go off on it, Dunk's kind of like, whoa, like what are you
Yeah,
doing? Like what are we
yeah, yeah,
doing
yeah,
here? And he's like, no,
yeah.
I think he absolutely, like everyone knows he killed that horse, like that was intentional. And he's those
Absolutely.
rat, basically like those rat bastards.
Yeah. And Aaron has a reputation at this point that everybody knows he's doing stuff he doesn't care about person's life, so he'll do whatever. Um, and so as we see, Egg is watching the play is going on. That play is a kind of it's a real story of like it was a knight who had a mirror as a shield, and he was trying to go, I guess, tame or kill this big dragon, use the mirror to get close enough to the dragon and then killed it. So that was a legit story. That was a cool thing to see. Um, but yeah, in Tenjo Too Tall, shout out to the puppet team over
Yeah, that that
putting that
that, that
together.
blood out there squirting out like that look
Yeah,
real.
squirting. That was
Oh,
dope. The
cool.
little
Like the
confetti
CGI
popped
right
out.
there,
Yeah, that was of the time. That's CGI at that time.
huh?
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, but she does
Somebody was like,
that
that's witchcraft.
exactly. But then everybody looks up and Ariana is sitting there, and everybody's like, "Ah, shit! Like we know what time it is. This dude is weird."
I've been waiting on the moment where Egg revealed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, gets dunked. He comes back, snaps her finger. Dunk puts in work. I mean, I would kind of wish he would have put in a little more work. I want him to take out a couple more guards, like throw three
I thought
more
he was.
guards.
I thought they were gonna throw
Yeah.
him off of him.
Yeah, bro, like throw them against the wall and then more jump on you. Okay, cool. But
They
yeah,
made they
that
made
is
Dunk bite the curve. They about to let that
yeah.
boy
He's about to
have
get
it.
Curve
yeah.
stomping.
My boy's about to get
Hmm
curb stomped. Yep, and and yeah, and literally Egg pops out and is like, "Hey, you, Johnny, Jerome, Max,
Yeah.
get the hell off of him."
Yeah. Pause
Uh,
off.
Yeah, hands off because my dad, you know what I mean? I am a Targaryen. And that was a really dope reveal. And it was a
I was
good
waiting
time to
on
do
that.
it.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, really good time to do it, especially mid-season. Gives us the rest to kind of look forward to what's coming up next. But yeah, what'd y'all think of that reveal?
They did good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
It
I
was
will go ahead, Roy.
I'll say it was the right time. Like
Yeah.
because you kind of didn't know. Obviously, we knew nothing was gonna like detrimentally happen to him,
Yeah,
but we are
right.
kind of wondering like how far is this gonna go
Mm-hmm.
before like something is like I kind of was wondering if it like he'd get kind of worked up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's beaten up, he's bloody, and then like they're about to do something, chop a finger off or whatever, and then
Yeah,
Egg chimes in and everyone realizes who it is. But for it to like be right up front, you're like, oh, so like there's no way he gets out of this scot free. Like we just know
right,
that's not how it happens in this world.
right.
So I'm like, well,
That's
what's about to happen?
Yeah, yeah. Um, two things. I really like the way Arion, like I like the way he reacted to getting beat up, like getting up and being like, "Why did you waste your life for this whore? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
why would you do such a stupid thing? Like, come on, now you know you gotta die, right?" So that was cool. And then I will say, apologies to these guys. I feel like I did spoil who Egg was for these guys.
Yeah.
First it was
Low
like first
key.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like yeah, I sent a thing. Me personally, I thought they knew who Egg was. So I thought they knew he was Aegon Targaryen. Me not knowing they didn't know that, I sent a little like family tree to them in our little Game of Thrones group chat or whatever. And they were like, "Oh, come on, dog." Like I was like, "Damn, my fault, fam. Like, my bad. I thought we was already there. I was a little too early. I was a little too early. But yeah, it's the next couple of episodes are going to be pretty amazing. But overall, what do you think of the first
Egg looks
half of the
sick in his
season?
Targaryen, his
Oh, that was
Targaryen
fire. Yeah,
drab.
his
He's got
little
the plaid dread.
yeah,
I was like, ooh.
yeah, that's fresh. That's fresh as hell. Jordan, what do you think about the first half of the season?
I think it was pretty good. I enjoyed being back in this universe. This is a small time period to digest, and so I think that's
Mm-hmm.
very helpful. And I am just looking forward to the rest of the season. I have no expectation, like I don't know what's coming or anything like that. I don't watch any of the upcoming stuff, so I have no idea what's going to happen next. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Roy, what about you?
Yeah, I'm liking it. It's not my favorite. Um, it's probably my least favorite Game of Thrones stuff. But I mean,
Hmm
that's not saying anything at all because like their stuff is so good. Like I
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think House of Dragon is still better, but it's also more of a production. Like there's dragons, there's a lot of fighting
yeah,
going on. This is still. I mean, I give halfway through like we're 7 out of 10. Like
Yeah.
it's really good. I like I'm a big fan of this kind of time period in general.
Yeah.
So I'm all in on that. One thing that I don't know if he's going to play, and you've read the novella, so may, but Egg briefly mentions that he's got black hair coming from his stones.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to play a like some sort of thing in the
That
future,
was
because
interesting.
obviously like Targaryens are known for having bright blonde hair, and
Yeah.
spoiler for who hasn't gotten past the first season of Game of Thrones, like
Yeah.
Targaryens, their bloodline is so strong that like if you have Targaryen blood, you have blonde hair. So I was assuming that, especially since this is before, all hair would be blonde. So I was like, what was that about? I don't know if it means
Yeah.
anything or if it was just a quippy line that they wanted to throw in
Yeah.
there. But I was like,
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Yeah. I will say this is a very interesting time in Game of Thrones history. This is the least incest time in Game of Thrones history because Baelor marries a Martell. He's part Martell, so like he has black hair. I think somebody else marries. I think it's Darren the Good marries somebody. Like it's not as much incest in this generation, but then after it, and obviously before it, it was a ton of
That's all it
incest.
was.
Yeah, so you'll see a few black hair, but and obviously we saw a couple in the House of Dragon, but they usually
Yeah.
aren't as significant. But you're right, like that was an interesting line. Even Dunk was like, I don't know why you're telling me this, but yeah, but first half of the season, I really enjoyed it. I thought they've done a great job of making something that like these novellas are hard to make a season out of, bro. That's why I'm kind of happy it's six episodes, 30 minutes, because these stories are kind of quick, to be honest. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of an adventure led thing. Like he hops
Hmm.
on to the next adventure, then the next one, then the next one. It's not, House of Dragon where you can drag out 4 seasons out of this thing. It's probably
Yeah.
not.
Because how long
Um
does a normal tournament last? Like it probably lasted a weekend or so. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like these are like this is all a couple days like
yeah,
from each other, you know what I mean? So um but yeah, I'm enjoying it and I'm kind of glad we got the Aegon reveal now because everything else I think is going to be surprising the normal fan. Whereas before it was like, all right, let's just like we you could barely talk about it because you didn't want to spoil that part, but everything now will be a big surprise to people, which I think is dope. Um, but yeah, folks, let us know what you think. Tap in with us on Facebook, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever you got. Tap in with us. Let us know what you think about the first 3 episodes. We may or may not be back for the full wrap up. Hopefully, we will. And we'll kind of talk about it as a collective. But other than that, any thoughts? Any other thoughts, Phyllis?
I kind of gave mine already, but what is your rating halfway through? Like I said, mine was a 7 out of 10.
That's a good point. I I'm probably gonna go 8.5 for me, just based off of what the book is and expanding on certain things the book didn't, which I think was really good. They made really good choices in that. There's a little the slapdick humor. That's not my style necessarily. So you know what I mean, that part doesn't necessarily do it for me. But expounding on Lionel, Egg, a few other characters, I was like, that's what we needed because they're usually brief characters in the books. So 8.5 for me. What about you, Jordan?
I would say I'm probably sitting at a 7 as well. Maybe even 7.5. I'll go 7.5.
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to see how the rest of the season turns out, though.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely tap into these next 3 episodes. Action really picks up because we're starting to actually get into the tournaments and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So definitely tap in there. But outside of that, appreciate you guys listening. We are out.
Excellent meeting, sirs, exquisite as always. The briefing is now adjourned.